The following presentation of this Channel 22 Sports Game of the Week is brought to you in part by a generous donation from the Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites, South Bay. The Holiday Inn Express is partnering with Channel 22 Sports to help promote our young people in sports competition and academics so that everyone in our community wins. The Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites. Stay smart. The following presentation of this Channel 22 Sports Game of the Week is brought to you in part by a generous donation from the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board is working together with Channel 22 Sports to promote an environment where everyone can maximize their career potential and so that all employers have the human resources they need to grow and prosper. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board. When you need us, we're there for you. It is a beautiful day in the city of Hawthorne. Good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Along with Beto Duran and the terrific Channel 22 Sports crew, I'm Lou Stowers, and we are going to show you the high school game of the week on Channel 22 Sports between the Hawthorne Cougars and the Culver City Centaurs. Well, Beto Duran, we've got a pitcher on the mound we haven't seen before, but Dago Perez is going to give it a go as 1-3, as Richard Riley, who would have been pitching in this game, is not academically eligible for this contest.
The Cougars suffered a big blow with Riley being out for the rest of the season due to academic ineligibility, but Dago Perez, as he's done all year long, a senior on this team, a leader, going to step up. He has thrown some this year. He's thrown in 28 innings, has an ERA of 2.2, recently got a victory the other day. He knows how to pitch. He's a leader on this team, and not coincidentally, can also hit, Lou, leading the team in RBIs with 28, 367 batting average, so Perez is going to step up.
Spider-Man's on the mound. Ocean League standings, Beto, are very, very interesting. Santa Monica is at 5-2, tied with Culver City at 5-2, and then it is Hawthorne at 4-3, and Beverly Hills also at 4-3. Beverly Hills is at Morningside, and Morningside is right behind at 3-4. So there are 4 teams in the Ocean League that are vying for a playoff position.
And the top 3 teams are guaranteed berths to CIF playoffs, and this game has huge implications for Hawthorne, which is in 3rd right now. They need a victory to maintain that level in order to make CIF.
That's right, and maybe even force a tie here with Culver City and really muck things up, as Santa Monica is hosting Inglewood, then have 2 with Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills has 2 at Morningside to close things out, and we're just about ready to get underway. It'll be Matt Mercier, Jose Tostado, and Mccarran Tucker in that order to face Dago Perez in our first opportunity to see Spider-Man on the mound. And here's the first pitch, and that hits Mercier right in the wallet. And our first base runner of the game goes to the Centaurs. So for Dago, that is the 5th batter that he has plunked this year. And that'll bring up Jose Tostado. Tostado fouls the first pitch off, hitting .340. Has no home runs and 4 RBI. Got to apologize for the wind. It is really blowing off of the ocean right now, and as usual, if you get a ball up in the air here, it's going to go.
Wind is really starting to howl, but that's what Perez needs to do. Keep the ball down, let his defense behind him make some plays. Don't want to get that ball elevated up in the air.
Perez throws over to Artis Perry. Let's set up the defense for you. In the outfield for the Cougars, Steve Hernandez. In left field, Eric Martin, the little greyhound, out in center, and Gary Vaughn is in right. And from 3rd base to 1st base, as Perez checks the runner, throws a breaking ball, and that settles in for a strike. At 3rd base is Chris Weishart. And at shortstop, Ricardo Velasquez. Irving Franco is at 2nd base, and Artis Perry is over at 1st. Next pitch by Perez, and that is whacked at the shortstop, waved at by Velasquez. And Mercier wanted to go to 3rd but couldn't do it, as is being bobbled around by Hernandez, who finally gets it in. So we have runners at 1st and 2nd with nobody out on the base hit by Tostado. And here comes Mccarran Tucker.
Yeah, big difference for Hawthorne today. Chris Bonilla started the game on Tuesday, actually, at Culver City in a game Hawthorne won 8-6. Hawthorne was able to jump out ahead early against Jacob Blodgett for Culver City, and here Culver City's put some pressure with no out runners on first and second.
Mccarran Tucker, the leading hitter on this team for the Centaurs at 423, Beto, with 13 RBIs, has 7 doubles. So talk about tall and lanky. This team has a lot of them. 6'3", 195, just a junior. This one's hit right at the shortstop, bounces off of Hernandez, has to go the long way, and Perry can't come up with it. In to score, and safe underneath the tag as Mercier, and it's 1-0 Centaur on the error. First by Hernandez, throwing it by Perez, and a good throw by Perry over to Jesse Arciniega behind the plate, but it's 1-0 in favor of the Centaurs early on.
Velasquez booted the initial ball at him. They had a chance for a double play. Booted the ball, picked it up, made the recovery, but he was not going to get Tucker, who runs well, going down the line at first. He should have ate the ball, and there you have bases loaded there. He throws the ball away, allows one to get past Perry, and a run scores from second.
That's a good point there. As Jeremy Burrell, the starting pitcher, coming up, and he may or may not be an LMU Lion as a curveball is low. Let's set up the defense for you. First, again along the infield, it is Chris Weischer at third base, Ricardo Velasquez at short, Irving Franco is at second, and at first Artis Perry. Behind the plate, Jesse Arciniega, and on the mound is Dago Perez, who's just trying to keep everybody close out there and trying to, well, just calm down here. Starting off a little shaky.
It doesn't help when Mccarran Tucker's at first with a huge lead, extending it each pitch.
And he's a big guy, too. Probably takes a couple of steps and he'll be at second base. But Artis Perry over at first base has stepped in and done a terrific job for a sophomore in difficult situation here for this team. Perez is usually the first baseman. Perez had the flu earlier this year, and it reacted the virus that a spider bite gave him earlier last year. So Artis Perry has had a chance to show his wares defensively and offensively. Here comes the pitch, hard ground ball to third off of Weischer and into left field for a hit, and in to score is Tostado to make it 2-0 Centaurs on the base hit by Jeremy Burrell.
Just a hot shot by Jeremy Burrell down the third base line. Got by Weischer. Really, all thing he could have done was put his body in front and knock it down, but the run was going to score anyways. Now Culver City gets ahead 2-0, and there's still no outs.
And that'll bring up Percy Perez, the designated hitter. Perez hitting .276 with 14 RBI.
Perez is normally the Centaurs' starting shortstop. Injured his throwing shoulder earlier in the year and has been DHing this year, and he's doing a pretty good job, batting .276, 1 hit by pitch and 7 walks, so he's up there working the counts.
And coming out to calm down Dago Perez is head coach Jeff Hines, as he just wants to know what the heck is going on.
And there Perez, hasn't really started too many games this year. He's only started 4. Considering Riley, who was their main horse throughout the year, this would have been his 10th start. Perez is more of a role coming off the bench, usually DHing, then he comes into the game as spot relief. But, you lose a player to ineligibility like they lose with Riley, you got to move on as a team. And Hawthorne, hey, they still have a shot at a playoff berth, so they're not going to just roll over because Riley's not here.
Well, they have to win this one, Beto, to stay in this one. It sure would make it tough coming down to the end of the season. Just a few games left. I believe including today, there's 3 games left on the Hawthorne schedule. As Perez looks at the runners at first and second, a curveball, and that bends in for a strike, and it's 1-1 to Percy Perez.
That's been Perez's best pitch so far. He's able to get that big hanging curveball over for strikes. It's the fastball that they're sitting on and driving.
Just waiting to see what what's going to happen there. So today with Culver City, and then the Ocean League closes out with Inglewood for the Cougars, as it's 2-1 now. So at least the schedule is in favor of the Cougars.
With the win, the Cougars essentially are going to guarantee themselves a tie for third. Inglewood is 0-9 in league action this year, but you know they're not going to roll over just because Hawthorne's coming to town.
Here's the 2-1 pitch, reached for and fouled, and that's a gift to Perez, and that makes it 2-1. Or 2-2, check that.
Yep, Coach Rick Prieto at third for Culver City, trying to get something going on here. Sees Perez on the ropes a little bit, trying to sacrifice some runners over, put some more pressure.
Prieto in his 13th year as head coach of the baseball program, 16th overall at Culver City, and this one's fouled back, and boy, I love that screen there.
So do the cars and the neighbors.
That's what I'm saying, pal. So today at Hawthorne for the Centaurs, and then they close out their schedule with 2 at Morningside. So the schedule is also in Culver City's favor.
This is a league that's so bunched up, the Ocean League that is, with Santa Monica, Hawthorne, and Culver City.
Well, the other way, off of Perry's glove and into right field. Coming around second and being held is Tucker. And now the bases are loaded for J.P. Mashiro. So that was a nice bit of hitting by Percy Perez to go the other way, and Artis Perry almost came up with it.
Yeah, just a shot by Percy Perez. The designated hitter did a smart job there with 2 strikes. He shortened up his swing, choked up on the bat a little bit. Dago Perez throws a nice pitch on the outside part of the plate. Perez drives it to right field off of the glove of Perry.
Mashiro is batting .308, has 12 RBI, also has 3 home runs. And my goodness, with already a 2-0 lead for the Centaurs, number 11 would love to put it up into the wind.
Yeah, Mashiro already has 12 RBIs on the season. You know, he's looking to add that. And then the outfield is playing deep. He gets one through on the ground. That's going to be 2 runs scored easily.
Bases are loaded. Here comes the pitch from Perez, and that's called a strike. Just got that pitch on the outside corner. So our umpires today calling balls and strikes, Jerry Flory, and out on the base paths is the world famous Phil Jenks. 2-1 now to J.P. Mashiro. So already an action-packed top of the first inning. Glad you joined us on Lawndale Hawthorne Community Cable Channel 22 Sports and our game of the week. It's been a while. We missed you. Perez not missing this situation. Look at that throw and got him. Great play by Perez and also Ricardo Velasquez to block the base and tags out Jeremy Burrell.
Burrell just got deked by Perez. He lifted the foot. Burrell thought he was going to the plate, but the old spin move turned around. Velasquez was there. Perez almost threw that away. Good job by Velasquez of saving that throw. Still had plenty of time to tag out Burrell, who just was getting his normal secondary. You don't expect to get picked off with the bases loaded.
Well, that's a sigh of relief as that gets rid of one Centaur, but still bases at the Centaurs at the corner with only 1 out. That was just the first out, but it's a big one. And that takes 1 potential RBI off of the table for J.B. Mashiro. He looks like a ball player standing up in that batter's box. Runner goes, pitch is taken for a ball, and no throw by Arciniega as he didn't want to allow Tucker to come strolling home.
Percy Perez had a huge jump on Dago Perez. Perez has a high leg kick, and once Percy Perez for Culver City saw that leg in the air, he was gone. No chance for Arciniega.
So both runners in scoring position for Culver City, and there's a walk for J.B. Mashiro.
Well, that pick off of Burrell was huge now.
Absolutely.
That would have been a run walked in.
So 1 out. Bases loaded for Andrew Connolly, who will be the catcher for the Centaurs once they get out there. If Perez can weather the storm here. Connolly batting .235. has 6 RBI in his 12 hits, and this one is a strike as it paints the outside corner. So that was a sneaky fastball.
Outside corner, that's what Perez needs to do. Work the corners, work inside, outside, mix up some pitches, not groove any.
So right on top of the plate is Connolly, and that breaking ball just missed. It's 1-1. So Connolly, a 6-foot junior, third baseman catcher, stands in there right-handed. The Centaurs at 5-2 in league and 17-10 overall, and this one's a line drive into left field, and coming up with it is Hernandez, but tagging and coming home and scoring is Tucker, and that makes it 3-0 on the sacrifice fly by Andrew Connolly. So 2 down, and well, at least right now, Beto, it's cheap enough.
Connolly did a good job. He saw a fastball that he can drive, and he did. Went with the pitch, lined it to the left fielder Hernandez, but gets his 7th RBI of the season. Now Culver City's up 3-0.
Kevin Ozaki up now for the Centaurs. Perez looking back at the runner, and a high chopper over Weischer, who was drawn in, and Hernandez kicks it. Coming around to score is Perez. And then the ball got away from the shortstop Velasquez. And over to third base is J.B. Mishiro. And then over at second base is Kevin Ozaki.
Yeah, Chris Weishart was playing in for some reason. That chopper went over his head. The hit by Ozaki. Hernandez tried to field it in left field. Booted a little bit. Perez was going to score easily for second because he was running on contact, but with the error by Hernandez, that allows the runners Mashiro and Ozaki to take the third and second.
Curveball is in for a strike, so if it wasn't bad enough that Perez is suffering some butterflies in the first inning, his teammates out there are kicking the ball around. Good curveball, but that just missed. It's 1-1. So already a tough game to score.
Bring the pencils.
Here comes the 1-1 by Perez, and that bounces in there. And having to scamper back over to third is Mashiro. So Mashiro over at third, and over at second is Kevin Ozaki.
Hawthorne's really digging themselves into a hole here because they're down 4-0 in the first. Two Culver City have not hit, and then Culver City is throwing their ace, and Jeremy Burrell, who had this year ERA of 2.4.
Then we had a child in the foul territory down the third baseline. That was our little stall, our little timeout. As Perez takes a breath, maybe he can get it done here. Fastball is outside. That called a strike. So Jerry Flory taking his time calling him. What the heck, it's a beautiful day. Don't need a jacket today.
Don't speak too soon.
That's right. I was thinking about that when I was driving up here. Foul ball. So that makes it 2-2. So 4-0 in favor of Culver City. And I'm sure that Jeff Hines would just love to start this whole thing all over again. Swung on a miss, strike three, and Perez strikes out the hitter Rincon to end the inning. But boy, Beto, 4 runs were scored by the Cougars to lead things off. And on 3-4 hits, and there were 2 men left. As we go into the bottom of the first inning, the Culver City Centaurs have 4, and the Cougars coming up next to face Jeremy Burrell on Channel 22 Sports. And we are back at Hawthorne High School, and boy, a long first half of the first inning. The Culver City Centaurs scoring 4 runs on 4 hits and a couple of errors. And the Cougars going to get their first crack at Jeremy Burrell. a senior, and he doesn't mess around up there, does he, Beto?
No, Burrell does not. He's a senior pitcher, highly regarded, probably going to go in the Major League Draft coming up in June as a pitcher instead of a hitter. His record so far this year, he's 4-3. He's their horse. Hasn't gotten much run support when he has pitched, which might be a good sign for Hawthorne as they're down 4-0 here. He's started 8 games, 56 strikeouts to 17 walks, 3 hit by pitches. He's pitched 48 innings this year, and he has an ERA of 2.479. A big task for Hawthorne to face.
As the first one to get tested is Ricardo Velasquez, the shortstop. And he'll be followed by Gary Vaughn and Jesse Arciniega. The first one is how do you do? A fastball right down El Segundo Boulevard.
Yeah, Burrell is going to just come out there and throw some gas at you. He throws a changeup and a curveball. Saw that in between innings. Has the sunglasses and comes out just like a closer from the stretch.
The only thing missing was Hell's Bells. And he's not messing around at all. He's just cooking with gas right now.
It's always easier to pitch when you're given a 4-run lead early.
Yeah, before
you
you
just
even
come out there and throw strikes.
Before you even get out there. Velasquez hitting .257 coming into today's game. And Ricardo hacking at it, trying to catch up with that heater. And I'm just trying to look at the crowd right now, Beto, see if we see any scouts out there. Maybe in another half hour or so, we'll probably see some scouts. But for Velasquez, he chokes up now. Trying to get something going here. That one just missed on the outside corner. Let's set up Culver City's defense for you, shall we? In the outfield from left to right. Anthony Rincon is in left. Matt Mercier is in center field. Boy, there's a lot of room out in center field if Ricardo can catch up with it. Here comes the 2-1. Chopper off the mound. Burrell has to come up with it and throws over to first to Jesse Tostado. 1-3 on the putout. Mccarran Tucker is in right field. And on the infield from third to first, it's Kevin Cohen, J.B. Mashiro, Kevin Ozaki, and Jose Tostado. Behind the plate, it is Andrew Connolly, and on the hill, it's Jeremy Burrell. And you'd think that he would be the ERA leader in the Ocean League, as Gary Vaughn couldn't pull the bat back on time. It's Joe McGrew with a 1.33 from Samohai, then Richard Riley with a 1.82 from the Cougars, and then Dago Perez, believe it or not, 2.25. This one's popped up down the line. Tostado says he has it and puts it away. Jesse Arciniega coming up. Jess is coming into today's action.
Having a kind of a slow season. He's batting .239 on the year. He's been hit 13 times and struck out 8, but does have 7 RBIs and 2 doubles.
And Jesse's looking to be a team leader here the way his brother Richard was, as this one gets away from Burrell and through the wickets of Andrew Connolly. So another year left to go for Jesse, just a senior. He can catch and pitch. He was a sophomore catcher last year, a good little tandem. Brother tandem there for Jeff Hines and the Cougars. Wide strike zone by Flory, calls a strike, 1-1.
But if Burrell's going to hit it right where Connolly, his catcher's putting it, that's going to be called a strike all day long, and Hawthorne needs to make the adjustment.
And this is how confident the defense is in their pitcher, Jeremy Burrell. Matt Mercier is playing in right center field, and the left fielder, Anthony Rincon, is playing a little off a normal left fielder's. Now he comes over towards center field.
Well, Burrell's a big, powerful pitcher, and a lot of the hitters are going to be late on him, and you want to make that adjusted shift.
Arciniega swings and misses at a slider, and down goes Arciniega. 1, 2, 3 go the Cougars in that inning. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, nobody left. We go into the second inning with Culver City leading the Cougars 4-0 on Channel 22 Sports. Top of the second inning, and we go to the top of the order as 9 men came to the plate in the top of the first inning for the Centaurs. As it's 4-0 Culver City over Hawthorne, in a huge game for both teams in this one as far as the standings go.
As far as the standings go, Culver City, they're 5-2, tied for first place with Santa Monica. Hawthorne trails them at 4-3 in Ocean League action, and Culver City jumped out to 4 runs in the first. That's huge.
It'll be Matt Mercier who looks at a strike, Jose Tostado, and Mccarran Tucker. Mercier was hit by a pitch and scored, crouches way down there. There's a guy named Henderson who used to do that.
Kind of good, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a little good. I don't think he was this tall, though.
No.
Matthew is listed at 6'2". I don't know. I think 5'9" of that's arm.
Mercier's a senior out there patrolling the outfield. He's done a good job this year leading the team.
And he must have some giddy up in those legs of his because he plays it pretty much in right field.
Yep. Mercier's batting .359 on the season and actually just leading this team. He's has 11 RBIs and
well-rounded hitter.
2 triples, 3 doubles.
Got a home run in there too. Whacks this one into left center field, and there goes Martin. And let's watch Mercier run. He is not even trying and makes it into second base. Boy, he just gets those legs out there, pumps those arms, and he is at second base lickety-split on a leadoff double. Man, that's impressive.
Mercier was flying out of the box. He just drilled that pitch by Dago Perez into left center with enough force that it split the outfielders, rolled to the fence. Mercier was out of the box, big wide turn. He was flying in the second. Thought about going to third. Leadoff hitter, you're up 4. Hold back. Let your rest of your offensive players go for it.
Dago Perez checks over at first base to see if Matt Mercier hit the bag coming around, and on the appeal is no-go, says Phil Jenks. So that'll bring up Jose Tostado, who had a base hit that bounced off of Velasquez at shortstop. This one's fouled back. Before we get too far into this one, and we're at Hawthorne High School, and glad you could join us on Channel 22 Sports. Beto Duran, Lou Stowers, and the terrific Tom Strickfaden-led crew, led by Ryan and Francisco.
And Alfonso.
And
And
Paul.
Alonso. And Juan.
How long has he known me, Lou?
So we had an opportunity the other night, as this one's a hot smash off of Velasquez's glove again, and runners at the corner with nobody out. So pretty much the same play as the first time. But Rufus Washington, Tom Strickfaden, and Noel Azurin, the general manager of Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Lawndale, made an appearance at the Hawthorne basketball awards dinner and had a great time over at the Memorial Center. As a curveball.
So what awards were given out there, Lou?
Well, we gave our Player of the Game awards out, some beautiful certificates that were put together by Tom Strickfaden and Holiday Inn Express and Suites, and had a good time. And there are all sorts of awards. And this one's high in the air to right center field. Back goes Gary Vaughn and comes up with it for the out, but coming and tagging in to score to make it 5-0 is Matt Mercier on the sacrifice fly by Mccarran Tucker.
It's the 14th RBI of the year for Mccarran Tucker. He's just going to add up some more points, already going with his 423 batting average. Tucker's having a great season. Only a junior, Lou, 6'3", 195. Next year, the scouts are going to be salivating over that kid.
Man, they probably already are right now. Jeremy Burrell steps in. Jeremy had a base hit, then was picked off at second base. Good play by Dago Perez and Velasquez. Runner goes. Arciniega throws it into right field, but Velasquez is there to back it up. So stolen base for Tostado, excuse me.
Big jump by Tostado, taking advantage of Perez's high leg kick. But back to the awards banquet, Lou. Did the basketball team from Hawthorne give you and Rufus an award for being there. Just every time you guys showed up, there was a win.
Well, no, they gave us a bunch of crap, but other than that, no. No, no. The seniors all wanted to stay another year. It seemed like. I mean, there was Justin Martin, who has an academic scholarship to Arizona State University. As now it's 1-1. The ball is low to Burrell.
Well, wouldn't you want to stay too if Brandon Richardson was coming back for his senior
I'll tell
year?
you what, especially the fourth year under Mike Rios' tutelage, and then you've got Josh Jordan and Shanderick Tyson leaving, among others, and this curveball stays outside. So it was 2-1 now to Burrell. So it was a lot of fun, and probably, of course, Brandon Richardson got his All-CIF award, which was very nice. It was all Ocean League, MVP of the Ocean League, and All-CIF. So he has nothing but stars to look forward to next year, and we're going to bring that to you on Channel 22 Sports as many times as we can.
Yeah, it was a banner year for the Hawthorne basketball program. They
10-0 in league.
10-0 in league. Last time they won that was who knows when. They go to the second round, the quarterfinals of the playoffs, and lose the eventual champions in Ventura. Nothing wrong there when you lose the eventual champions. It takes some of the sting out.
That was kind of like a championship game. That was went right down to the last sands in the hourglass. It was a terrific ball game, and Ventura was lucky to get out of there alive.
I think Hawthorne basketball team takes some pride knowing that they pushed the eventual champions. Maybe that's what inspired Ventura to win, knowing that they almost lost in a hostile Hawthorne gym.
Yeah, you're right.
But forget that. What did they have to eat?
They had a terrific menu, terrific bill of fare.
Because you're not one to miss a meal.
No, as a matter of fact, I had to say I brought some home with me. As now it's 3-2. They had this wonderful Louisiana fried chicken.
Ooh.
And just big, huge pieces, fried just right.
So if you're the MC, how did you eat all this food, Lou?
Very quickly. And, well, Rufus, actually Mike Rios was our host, and then graciously allowed us, hey, this is a pretty good at bat here for Dago Perez, battling his opposing number. And the pitcher's spot, Jeremy Burrell, another foul, and it's 3-2 with the man on. It's 5-0, Culver City. But there's also meatloaf, sliced turkey, lots of desserts, salads.
Salad, yeah, you're gonna mix in a salad, aren't you, Lou?
Well, they had ranch dressing on it. Foul down the third baseline as Weischer says he has it and puts it away for the second out. So a good battle there by Dago Perez, not giving in to Jeremy Burrell, one of the better hitters in this league.
Yeah, Burrell did a good job of battling up there against Dago Perez. Fouled off 4 pitches, worked into a full count, had some good hacks there. There, Perez gets the better of Burrell as he threw an off-speed pitch that Burrell chased, and he popped up to the third baseman, Weishar.
And this is the designated hitter, Percy Perez, who had a base hit into right field off of Artis Perry's glove. And that's ball 1. But the coaching staff, of course, all 10 assistants there, all of the teams from the freshman to the varsity, and also the girls' teams were honored there. And those wacky cheerleaders, those girls that kept us entertained, and Weischer can't come up with this one, as it's a base hit for Perez into left field, and coming around from second into score is Tostado to make it 6-0 Culver City over Hawthorne. So that's 2 hits now for Perez, and going into left field, he can flat out hit this young man.
Percy Perez picks up his 15th RBI of the season, which is an accomplishment in itself, considering he's up there with a bum shoulder, can't play defensive, and just because you can't throw it doesn't mean it's not going to affect your swing. He's up there in some pain, but Perez is still lighting it up for Culver City.
Tough kid, because, yeah, he's really hit the ball sharply twice. J.B. Machero coming up now, walked and made it over to third base back in the first inning. Runner goes, Arceniegas throws there, and he's out. Good tag put on by Irving Franco, and getting run down or getting thrown out is Perez to end the inning. So 2-4 on that one, and that leaves J.B. Machero over at third base, and now Rick Prieto wants to go over to Phil Jenks and say, I don't agree with you on that one.
Burrell's out there arguing for his team, but he's still got to be happy. Centaurs pick up 2 runs on 2 hits.
And that makes the score 6-0 as we go into the bottom of the second inning. Hawthorne coming up on Channel 22 Sports. Six to nothing Centaurs over the Cougars on Channel 22 Sports. It'll be Dago Perez, Artis Perry, and Juan Chaidez in that order to face Jeremy Burrell. And the Cougars need to figure a way to get on base.
Well, against Burrell, it's never going to be easy. He's one of the dominating pitchers in the Ocean League, if not Southern California. What Hawthorne needs to do is be patient. Take some pitches. Let him throw some pitches in the dirt away. Be patient with themselves, taking a positive approach at the at-bat, showing up the swing, and go with the pitch. Don't try to drive anything.
Dago pressed into duty as a starting pitcher, sends this one way up in the air and misses a car across the street.
Another reason that Hawthorne needs to be patient and look at some pitches is they need to give Dago Perez, their pitcher, a breather. When they're going out 1, 2, 3, he's got to get back on the mound quickly.
And this is only the second inning, bottom of the second. Curveball doesn't find the mark. It's Dago Perez, the second leading hitter on this Cougar team at .367, has 5 doubles. Really, is he still looking for his first home run? Fouls this one off the other way. Now it's 1-2.
This is a good battle right here. Burrell against Dago Perez. Big man versus big man. Your best against their best. And Perez up there hacking away, trying to stay alive against Burrell.
Well, they had a good battle against each other the other way around in the top half of the second inning, which Perez won. Burrell looks like he's in terrific shape. Fastball, man, that just chews off the outside corner, and Perez knew it.
Perez was not looking for that. Burrell up there, shook one time, said yes. We hit the corner perfectly. Strike 3 against Dago Perez, and Perez just walks back dejected. He was looking for something off speed. But when it's 2 strikes against you, you can't be looking for a certain pitch. You got to see the ball, hit the ball, make the adjustment, and just go with it.
Well, especially after you showed Burrell up at the bat. He's going to smoke you down. He's not going to...
Yeah, that wasn't personal at all.
No, not at all. It's not Raja Bell either. But here's Artis Perry, the first baseman, just getting his first look at Jeremy Burrell. Curveball, and that's swung at. He does find a piece of it for strike 1. Artis Perry has been a nice surprise for Jeff Hines. Perry, batting .327, has 12 RBI on the season. Dago, the man just up, has 28 and leads the Ocean League in that department. This one's pulled to third base off of the shin bone of Cohen, who makes a long throw, and Perry dives into first, safe. So finding a way to get on is Artis Perry, giving up everything.
It was just a ball hit, a chopper to Cone, the third baseman, took it off the shin like if he was a soccer goalie, picked it up, made a high throw. Artis Perry running hard, just dives into first, trying to get on base. The first base runner for Hawthorne in this game.
Yeah, the Kings might want to try out
The
Cohen.
Kings might want to try out anybody.
Yeah, what are you doing in the next tryouts? That'll bring up Juan Chaidez, the designated hitter, normally playing on the infield for the Cougars. Today is the DH. Fastball, and that's low and inside. So this is going to be a big test for Jeremy Burrell. It's been a long 2 innings so far, inning and a half. And we're going to see how focused Burrell can stay here as long as his offense keeps him on the bench. Swing and a miss by Chaidez, and you were saying you got to make the hitters for Hawthorne have to make Burrell pitch to him.
Got to make a pitch, increase his pitch count. The higher, the better, because then you could possibly get into the Culver City bullpen, which is pretty strong, by the way. But you don't want to be facing their horse the whole game.
Off-speed pitch, curveball, and that's a strike.
See, what Burrell does is he mixes up the pitch as well. He goes after the big hitters and he sets them up. He's not just out there throwing. He's throwing curveballs for a reason. He's throwing changeups there for a reason. And there he set up Chaidez with the nice off-speed pitch. Look for a fastball here that just gonna maybe blow him away.
Chaidez hitting 292, fastball that gets between the legs of Connolly, and down to second base rumbles Perry on the pass ball. I'm a little tougher on catchers than most scorers are.
That's a pass ball. I mean, Connolly is catching Burrell, but hit the glove. You got to catch that. You got to hold your runners.
Chaidez, as we said, 292, has 2 home runs. And this one's a slow roller to shortstop. J.B. Mashiro makes a nice throw, but Perry goes down to third base with 2 down.
J.B. Mashiro doing a good job. Slow roller comes up, fields it cleanly, squares his body up, and he gets Chaidez out at first. Perry, as you said, takes to third on the throw.
Steve Hernandez checks in now. The left fielder is hitting left-handed against Burrell with a chance to break the goose egg out there. And this one's fouled back. And this one house across the street has aluminum awnings over their window.
They know.
It's pretty smart.
One of the risks of living next to the baseball field.
Hernandez hitting 143 in limited action, but he does have a home run.
The home run we saw here on Hawthorne Cable.
That's right.
He drilled it into the racquetball courts in a pinch hitting appearance.
So we know he can cut through this wind. So 2 down. Artis Perry is over at third base, wanting to come home. This one's right back at Burrell. Hernandez got slow out of the box, fires, and is out. Hernandez tried to slide, but Hernandez didn't get out of the box in time. He would watch that and thought that Burrell might have come up with it. And Perry slams his helmet down in frustration as he wanted to come home bad with that first Hawthorne run. But no runs on a hit and no errors, nobody left. And Jeremy Burrell had his life flash in front of him on that hit. As now they're looking over at Burrell right now. And let's look at the replay.
Just a shot that Hernandez hit back up the box, and Burrell put his glove up there, knocked it down, still able to get off the mound, picked it up, and threw out Hernandez. Hernandez slid at first. Maybe if he would have kept on running like a track star, run through the bag, and he might have been safe there.
You're right. Always run through the bag. But Artis Perry made it, and he made it almost around to home, but they'll try it again in the bottom of the third. We go to the third inning with the score 6-0 Culver City over Hawthorne on Channel 22 Sports. At least they got their It is 6-0 in the bottom of the at the top of the third inning, as the Centaurs sending up J.B. Mashiro, Andrew Connolly, and KO Kevin Ozaki in that order against Dago Perez. This one's lifted high in the air to right field. Vaughn has to turn around and makes a nice catch and runs into the wall for the first out, as Mashiro going for another home run.
J.B. Mashiro takes an off-speed pitch from Dago Perez and drills it into right field. That's a nice play by Gary Vaughn. Not easy play to make because he's drifting back up, has to play off the fence, and he still fielded that ball. Nice play by Gary Vaughn.
Yeah, you have to worry about the fence there, like you said. Also, the ball slicing away from you off of the bat of a right-handed batter, and also that wind too. Curveball doesn't find the mark against Andrew Connolly. And it's 1-0. Sacrifice fly by Connolly back in the first inning. So he's no official at bat. This one's grounded right up the middle, and Chaidez with a nice pickup, good throw, and a nice pick by Artis Perry.
It's actually Chris Bonilla came in to play short. And then he went way behind second base, picked up the ball, made a nice, strong throw to Artis Perry with a nice dig to throw out Andrew Connolly. Nice play by Chris Bonilla, who just snuck into the game. We didn't even know he was there.
That's right, good eye. At any rate, that was a terrific play, and that's 2 down. So that's good news for the Cougars, who are down 6-0. And that brings up Kevin Ozaki, who steps out of the box. Kevin is either wearing a baggy uniform or he can't fill it out yet. He's got to go to that burger place every now and then. KO, as he is known, is 5'8" and a generous 140 pounds, just a sophomore.
You know what, Lou, you said that in 2 years when he's a senior and he's 6'6", 240, he's going to come back and find you.
He is. He's going to stomp all over me.
Like, remember me? I didn't grow.
Here, I'll show
now
you.
What?
I'll show you what KO means.
Yeah, you're the one eating the Hawthorne basketball team's dinner, so was I. I don't need leftovers. I eat everything.
That's right. He even ate the plates. Do have to mention Tom Strickfaden reminded me of the terrific decorations, Mardi Gras style, where there were bottles of soda with colorful gold and purple and green balloons and streamers and coins, and they even had these really neat little basketball pens and like lapel pins, but they had little lights on them to make them colorful. This one's whacked into left center field, and nobody's going to get that one, as it's cut off by Hernandez, and by the time he gets it back into the infield where nobody can get it, as finally it's picked up by Arciniega. But KO, Kevin Ozaki, has a double with 2 outs.
Kevin Ozaki gets his 3rd hit of the season, Lou, his first double of the year. He must have heard you critiquing him, saying it wasn't big enough, but you know what? He's up there hitting like he's 5'10", not 5'8", with that double into deep
That's
left
right,
center
185 pounder. But he's 2 for 2, has an RBI, and now is in scoring position for Anthony Rincon.
That's what happens when you have everything going your way, as Culver City does. Kevin Ozaki, who came into the game with only 2 hits, has 2 on the season. In the game, he's 2 for 2 now, and that's
Something
your number
else.
8 batter.
Well, that's what you got to have working for you, is the bottom of that order. Anthony Rincon struck out to end the first inning, so we're in the top of the first inning. And Dago Perez in a little bit of trouble, having his best inning thus far. Swung on a miss. Nice fastball in on the hands.
And Perez has not had any easy innings at all. It's only the 3rd inning, but the first inning, Culver City sends up 9. The second inning, they send up 5, and they score 2 runs. Here, he gets the first 2 batters, but with 2 strikes against Kevin Ozaki, he drills a double. And now you have the number 9 batter trying to knock him in.
Eric Martin sneaking in from center field is now swung on a missed. 2 strikes now on Rincon. Rincon coming in batting .303 with 2 RBI. An extra base hit is a triple for the left fielder for the Centaurs. That one sailed way outside. That makes it 2-2. Perez looks back at KO out at second base and swung on a miss, and a good breaking ball, and that gets Rincon again. That gets the Centaurs again. So going into the bottom of the 3rd inning, it is still 6-0 Culver City over Hawthorne, and we're going to come back and talk about some more of what went on at the Hawthorne Hoops Awards banquet when we come back on Channel 22 Sports. Back here at Hawthorne High School, it is 6-0 Culver City over the Cougars. And Jerry Jeremy Burrell is talking to his catcher, Andrew Connolly. Burrell just kind of sailing along.
Burrell's grooving through this inning. Only hasn't even faced the entire Hawthorne lineup. He's going to do that facing number 9 batter Eric Martin here. Only batter to reach was Artis Perry on a error in the second inning.
Here's the first pitch to Franco, and that's grounded to second base, so Zaki comes up with it and throws him out. So just going ahead and going after it was Franco on the first pitch. And here comes Eric Martin.
Hawthorne's making it really easy for Jeremy Burrell. You don't want to make it easy for a hard-throwing pitcher like Burrell, who's a seasoned senior, knows how to get ahead of batters, and they're helping him out here chasing pitches out of the zone.
6 runs on 8 hits for the Centaurs. No runs on no hits for the Cougars, as the lone base runner, Artis Perry, was on an error back in the second inning by the third baseman, Kevin Cohen. First pitch is a strike to Martin. Martin is kind of like a second leadoff person, 5'5", 135-pound senior. Foul tips that in the glove of Andrew Connolly. Martin hitting .308, has 8 RBI, and 3 of those 8 hits, Beto, are for extra bases, one of them a triple.
Yeah, and if Martin can get on base, he's dangerous there. 8 for 8 in stolen bases this year.
Trying to bunt his way on. That grass is thick. Burrell comes down and can't pick it up. A base hit. The first base hit of the game for the Cougars is a bunt single by Eric Martin, and let's watch the rabbit go.
That's what you have to do against a hard thrower like Burrell. You want to put the pressure on him there. Martin gets a bunt nicely down the third base line. Burrell jumped off the mound, had a chance to get it, bobbled it. Martin's on easily.
That'll bring up Chris Bonilla taking over for Ricardo Velasquez, who was 0-1, 0 for 1. And Jeremy Burrell is very well aware of Eric Martin and his perfect 8 for 8. So Chris Bonilla came in for Velasquez. And now Bonilla squares around to bunt, pulls it back, but it's still a strike. So the Cougars trying to get things going a little late. Still a lot of baseball to be played as Hines flashes the signals down to Bonilla. Made a nice defensive play.
Yeah, Bonilla came in and made a nice play against Andrew Connolly deep behind the bat to throw him out.
This one is almost a pitch out. It's 1-1.
Looks like Bonilla's taking the whole way, just flashing a bunt, trying to get the defense moving, give a different look to Burrell, maybe get him rattled a little bit, and they might have done it. It's 2-0.
Martin has a very decent lead over first base. There he goes. The pitch is swung on a miss. The throw down by Connolly is way too late. Martin had that one stolen before the pitch was even made.
Yeah, that was a great job by Martin. Bonilla showing the bunt, pulls it back for a slash. He missed it there, but now it's 1-2 count on him. And a runner in scoring position to Eric Martin, who went in standing up to second base.
That's his 9th stolen base, and now it's 1-2 to Chris Bonilla. Has a runner in scoring position now. Swung on and missed, and the ball pops out of Connolly's glove and has to throw it down to first base. Martin was just about down to third base, but then got back. So it's a strikeout, 2-3. And that'll bring up Gary Vaughn. Vaughn popped out to the first baseman, his first time up.
Vaughn's had a good season so far, batting .357. Has 1 double, 5 RBIs, just a base hit machine.
Closing out his senior year. Trying to get a hit against one of the league's best, and pops this one foul out of play onto the track.
Vaughn doing a great job in right field, went to the fence and a
good running catch.
Good running catch out there, good defensive all around.
So it's 0-1 to Vaughn. Has speedy Eric Martin out at second base. A base hit will definitely score him. So still a lot of room out in right field, or check that left field. Between the left fielder Rincon and Matt Mercier, the center fielder. This one's in the dirt, 1-1. So one final postscript on our adventure to the Hawthorne Basketball and Cheerleaders Awards Banquets. There goes Martin, and the ball is tapped to Burrell, and Burrell lollipops it around to first base, and down go the Cougars. Well, we'll end that story next half inning. So Vaughn bounces out to Burrell, who's just sailing along, has finally given up a hit, but it's still 6-0. No runs on a hit and one man left. We go into the top of the fourth inning. Culver City 6, Hawthorne Cougars nothing. And top of the fourth inning, 6-0. Culver City is leading Hawthorne in this pivotal game in Ocean League, late in this league, as they're including this game, 3 games left in league season. Matt Messier, Jose Tostado, and Mccarran Tucker to face Dago Perez, who's finally settled down, didn't give up a run in the third inning. Curveball, and that settles in. Nicely placed by Dago on the inside corner.
Yeah, nice off-speed pitch by Perez, but Mercier, the leadoff batter, hit by pitch and a double 2-run scored in his last at-bat, drilled one into left center.
Has those long arms and long legs and can just get it done. This one's bounced by Dago. So, just to end up our story about the Hawthorne girls and boys basketball and cheerleaders awards over at the Hawthorne Memorial Center. It was definitely a family affair. Everybody is just pulling for one another, and the families, the moms and the dads and the sisters and brothers all there. This one's grounded towards shortstop. Bonilla can't flag it down, and on with his second hit of the day, and on base for the third time is Matt Mercier. But I want to thank all the families and all the coaches who have accepted us into not only their homes but into their families. Channel 22 Sports seems to be more than just another cable channel, as they treated us like family, and really humbles us and warms our hearts. So thanks to every one of you here at Hawthorne High School.
And it's very humbling, Lou, as you say it, and you become part of the family, but most important is these kids get a chance to be on TV. Not many kids are ever going to get any of their games broadcast, but then let alone have your whole entire season essentially on TV, and you get a copy of a DVD from Tom Strickfaden, your highlight reel, stuff that they can use to send to colleges and other places. You go to Max Preps and you see your highlight dunk on there.
Absolutely. Shanderick Tyson's on there a couple times.
That's what community cable is all about, is giving the kids in the community exposure, and the Hawthorne Cable Company does a great job of doing that, and we love the parents too for coming up and saying thank you.
Absolutely. And they were wondering where you are. You have your own little marching society with Hawthorne here.
Yeah, show up for 2 games and they win one, lose one, so I'm 500. I'm all right.
Now they want to make sure you don't come back after that one. That was our only loss.
Is that why I was chased out of the gym?
That's it. Frankenstein style, with pitchforks and torches. As Jose Tostado is in the box now, in the batter's box, facing Dago Perez, is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Snap throw down, and getting back in time is Matt Mercier. But good throw by Jesse Arciniega. It's now 1-2 to Tostado.
Yeah, Dago Perez is the pitcher for Hawthorne. His pitch count is getting kind of high. They got the bullpen warming up. Sergio Garcia, number 22, senior, he's in the pen for the Cougars.
Perez, breaking ball is waited on by Tostado, and he fouls it back. So Dago has thrown a lot of pitches today, Beto, but he has 2 strikeouts and has given up 6 runs on 9 hits. A couple of errors behind him in the first inning that extended that inning, so that made him work even harder.
It's safe to say Dago's future is as a hitter. That's his forte, but he comes out here and he does the job as a pitcher, and he's doing what you're asking him to do. Just keep us close into the games, throw some strikes, let our defense play behind you, make some plays. But today it booted a couple balls, had that rough first inning where he gave up 4 runs off of 2 errors, but at the same time he's keeping his team here offensively. they're struggling against a stud like Burrell.
Perez trying to keep Mercier close. So how's Matt Mercier in the stolen base department?
Well, that's one thing that don't have a stat for, but
That's right, from Culver. That's yeah, we do get our stats from a website, Max Preps, and sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. This one's up around the eyes. Now it's 2-2 to Tostado, and we appreciate all of the coaches that do take advantage and have the time to send off their stats to Max Preps. Not only does it keep us informed, it keeps us off the phone and off their back.
exactly. But another thing, it's parent and coaches can go and find out how their kid is doing, or relatives in another state. It's not just California; it's across the whole entire country, and it's an idea that where was it earlier?
You know, it was like pulling teeth out of a horse to get numbers sometimes.
Now we show up to games and we actually sound like we know what we're talking about.
And it's all because we got the information. It's not because we are smart. Well, Beto is. He'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
So Dago Perez paying very close attention to Matt Mercier, knowing that, boy, any more runs is just going to make it impossible. And now it's 3-2 is the count, full count to Tostado. There goes Mercier, has the base stolen, and Arciniega. That was ball 4, I imagine. Or no, he was out. That was a called strike 3.
But Arciniega dropped the ball, and Tostado does a smart thing, run. Even though he was automatically out because first base was occupied on the strikeout, he's automatically out. But hey, if he runs and Arciniega throws that into the right field, that play is live and Mercier can score.
Well, just like A.J. Brzezinski in the ALCS last year.
Just run.
That's it. In on the hands as it's off of the chest of Weischer, has to throw in a hurry and doesn't get Mccarran Tucker, who flew down to first base. And Chris Weischer did a good job to just pick that ball up, and he's going to have a nice little bruise on his chest.
He has some red seams right on his chest, but Weischer just keeps the body in front. Almost had Tucker, but one of the fastest kids on the team for Culver City made it a close play.
So Tucker, boy, what a pair out there in the outfield. Tucker and Mercier. Tucker's at first, Mercier is at second, and here comes Mr. Centaur, Jeremy Burrell. Nice curveball. That drops in for a strike.
And that was hanging. Burrell was not looking for that. He's looking for a fastball he can drive. And
he's looking for one to punch out of here.
He's got those sunglasses on, but for some reason we saw his eyes wide open there.
He wants to punch a hole in that big old green water tower. There it goes.
There it is.
High and deep into left field, and Hernandez just turns and watches it go bye-bye. A 3-run home run by Jeremy Burrell, and he knew it as soon as he hit it, got it up into the wind. It is now 9-0 Culver City. So this kid can do it all.
The second home run of the season for Jeremy Burrell. RBI number 14 on the season, and we talked about he saw that first pitch and his eyes were wide open, but he wasn't going to let the second one go by him. Perez grooves a fastball and he just jumped all over it, and as you mentioned, Lou, when it's up in the wind here, it's gone.
Forget it. That's a first-class ticket to 4 bases.
And the fence says 313, but he easily drove that 330. They're still chasing that ball.
I think it just now bounced off of the City of Hawthorne sign on that green water tower. Man, that was a shot. We've seen some here at Hawthorne High School, as Percy Perez, who has 2 hits, is choking up on the bat.
Burrell and Perez have battled with each other all game long. This time, Burrell got the better of Dago and just drilled one.
As there was a good battle at the plate the last time when Perez got Burrell to pop up to third base on a 3-2 count. So it's 9-0 on the big 3-run bomb by Jeremy Burrell. As Perez waits on this one, the curveball, as Artis Perry chases it into the bullpen.
And Burrell has a bright future, is talking about possibly going to Loyola Marymount, just have some things to iron out. And Coach Rick Prieto told us earlier that scouts been coming around checking him out, and they've talked to his parents about what could possibly be done. And Burrell has a bright future as a pitcher, according to Prieto. He said he's a much better pitcher than he is a hitter. We've seen him excel in both sides.
Absolutely, as this one's whacked down the right field line. And let's watch Perez run. Hits it into the corner. Gary Vaughn trying to dig it out as Perez stops at second as it goes into the locker room area. And it's called a ground rule double. It's the top of the fourth inning, 9-0 in favor of Culver City. And a runner at second in Percy Perez, who's 3 for 3.
Percy Perez, 3 for 3, 1 run scored. He's had 2 base hits, and there was a double, his second of the season. And that was a good piece of hitting against Dago Perez. Perez has not pitched bad at all. He's hit some spots, and there he missed one. And Percy Perez is a designated hitter for a reason. Drills one down the right field line for a double. And now it looks like Dago Perez is going to be taken out of the game.
Dago did a good job, but gave up 9 runs on 9 hits. Check that, 11 hits. As Perez is still his responsibility out at second base. Check that, a dozen hits.
Sergio Garcia is going to come in from the pen. He's a 5'9", 165-pound senior. Sergio Garcia has come in a lot in relief, has 2 losses on the season, ERA of 6.17, has 7 Ks, has walked 14 batters. Sergio Garcia, your new pitcher for the Hawthorne Cougars.
So Dago Perez goes 3 1/3 and gave up 9 hits so far, 9 runs. Check that, a dozen hits. And so far 9 runs.
Dago was a 3-0 coming into this game. That's going to really affect him. He had an ERA of 2.2. As of now, he stands to take the loss, but this is a game that Richard Riley would have been pitching in for Hawthorne. Richard Riley is a great pitcher. Dago Perez, an average pitcher on the high school level, but he does what is asked of him as a teammate, and he comes out here, and he's really a hitter. Somebody you can throw in for 1 inning, but by the third time that Culver City got to Perez, and third time the looks that they have against him.
They're just waiting on that curveball.
Waiting on the curveball, sitting back on a fastball, and Jeremy Burrell, his 3rd time around, drilled one.
And Perez, the next man up, did the same thing down the right field line, but that's the 2nd time he's gone the other way too. So he's just a good wrong way hitter.
Garcia's just going to try to put his finger in the hole here and just try to keep the bleeding from keep on going.
And first pitch to J.B. Mashiro, who's no slouch himself at the plate. Fouls the first one off.
Rick Prieto was telling us that a lot of his kids on his team, they may be a lot of juniors, but they have a lot of first-year varsity players. J.B. Mashiro was their catcher when Percy Perez was injured, went to shortstop halfway through the year, and he's done a great job there for Culver City.
Sure has. I mean, you look at him and you think this guy isn't built like a shortstop.
He's built like a catcher.
Strike 2. Yeah, he is. But he's going to last a little longer out there.
And Culver City is a good program with Rick Prieto in the 16th year at Culver City. Alumni.
This one's fouled at the plate, still 0-2.
13th year as a head coach, and they've produced some players. A couple kids go on every year to play somewhere, and this year we see Burrell's going to move on. Mashiro looks like he has some talent. He can go on to somewhere else, and they have a kid pitching at UCLA named Sean Smith, a senior. He's coming out of the bullpen for the Bruins, doing a good job.
And you got to get into that level. I mean, it just seems like the colleges around this area, no matter if they're in a huge D1 program like the Pac-10 or if they're in the WCC, even the junior colleges around here can just really, the NAIA schools like Southern California College, Azusa Pacific.
Viola.
That's right. The D2 schools. I don't even think there are any D2 schools.
We have
in
Dominguez Hills and Cal Poly Pomona, and Cal State LA, those schools. And
They're all good. They could all play each other in a tournament, and there's no way you could pick a winner.
No, and like you mentioned, the JCs, and Hawthorne has a kid, the Arciniega, playing at Harbor College this year. So
That's right.
kids
Richard.
go on and play. Then you had a couple years ago Tommy Salvatierra and Larry Williams for Hawthorne. Good programs both.
Look out.
So it's
Rick
no
Prieto
wonder that
still got the moves over there at third base. Ole.
it's no wonder that the Ocean League is always a league where it's 5-2, 4-3. It's nobody ever really runs away with it. And a couple years ago, Inglewood was one of the powers around when they had Horacio Ramirez, who's now with the Atlanta Braves, as a pitcher. And now you have Morningside coming on. So it's a strong league, and they're going to give a lot of teams trouble.
So the first batter, J.B. Mashiro, earns a walk against Garcia. So now 2 on and 1 out for Andrew Connolly, who has a sacrifice fly and a bouncer to shortstop. Actually, that was the bouncer to Bonilla, who had to go over the bag and make a nice turn on that one. So it's 1-0, and Connolly is 0 for 1 officially. Garcia, ground ball to shortstop. Bonilla going for 1, and nice throw over to Perry for the second out. That ball was just hit too slow to try to go for the double play.
Yeah, Connolly hit that off the end of the bat. It was a slow roller, and here the thick grass that Hawthorne has dribbled to Bonilla. He did the smart thing, had no shot at second, go to first, get the out against Connolly for the second out of the inning.
That brings up KO, Kevin Ozaki.
What do you have to say about him now, Lou?
He's the big man on campus here.
Sophomore's looking for his third hit here.
Gotta love it. The youngsters making some noise down at the bottom of the order for Rick Prieto. Ball is in the dirt. And going back to third base is Percy Perez, who is 3 for 3 himself. And J.B. Mashiro is on at second base via the walk. Garcia out of the stretch. Now has the runner picked off. And let's go home. Here comes the throw high. And coming in to score is Perez on the pickoff throw. Is that throw just nowhere near it?
Chris Bonilla had the runner at second. Garcia did the spin move again. The second time we've seen that. Had the runner. Perez broke once the throw was made to Bonilla. Bonilla just air milled the throw to home. Arciniega had no shot at it. Percy Perez scores.
So we're going to have to give an error to Bonilla.
A good throw would have had Perez at the plate. Arciniega was waiting for it. He just saw that ball fly over his head.
It was a good play because over at second base, Mashiro was a dead duck.
He was hung out to dry. He did the same thing that Burrell happened to him in the first inning, where once Garcia picked up his leg, he took his secondary lead as your top, but there Garcia made the spin move. Bonilla broke to the bag. They had him, but Mashiro did the smart thing. Once you're a dead duck, just run. Go away from the out.
So that makes it, oh, there's a line drive over Artis Perry's glove and down the right field line. Ozaki may be going for 2 as he gets in there with a slide and also gets himself a run batted in as Mashiro comes in to score to make it 11-0 Culver City.
Kevin Ozaki loves you, Lou. He heard you call him a little guy. Now he's 3 for 3, 2 doubles, a base hit, and 2 RBIs. This kid came into the game batting .067 with 1 RBI in the season and 2 hits.
So far, he's our player of the game. You didn't expect Burrell to be there. Anthony Rincon, who struck out twice, up to bat. So Sergio Garcia trying to slam the door, drop the keys.
That's why baseball's a funny sport, Lou. Yeah, Ozaki, who came into the game batting .067, he's 3 for 3. Rincon, batting in the 9th spot, was batting .303, one of their better hitters on the team, and he struck out twice.
Can't buy one right now. As Garcia goes into the stretch. Fouled that one back. So talking about awards banquets, we're going to have to go see tonight at the Lusinger basketball banquet. Going to see what outfit Rufus Washington is wearing tonight.
You think our future Bruin at Lusinger will be wearing blue and gold?
I am. I'm going to get his autograph early.
That's a big sign for Ben Howland and the program.
Oh, are you kidding me? He's going to fit right in with that program. And I did see Donnell Beverly with his sister at the Hawthorne Memorial Center. This one's fouled back. 2 strikes to Rincon again.
With Aaron Aflalo and Jordan Farmar possibly going to the NBA. Our Lusinger stud.
I guess we can talk about this now because it's all done. He's already in the stable. But one of the family members and other people, we were having a discussion at the Collision 8 All-Star game. This one's grounded to second, picked up by Franco, and throws him out. And that'll do it for the Centaurs, but they do it again, and doing it again is Jeremy Burrell with a big 3-run home run. But 5 runs come across in that inning to make the score 11-0. Cougars trailing Culver City, and we'll be back with the bottom of the 4th inning on Channel 22 Sports. Back in Hawthorne High School, along with Beto Duran, Tom Strickfadden, and the crew.
And the Big League Chew.
And the Big League Chew. Yeah, that's right, Beto Duran. Just chewing on everything.
It's just much the same way that Culver City's chewing up this Hawthorne pitching staff.
That's right. They got 5 runs on 5 hits in that last inning, including a big 3-run home run by that man on the mound, Jeremy Burrell.
The Centaurs have batted around twice.
11 runs on 13 hits for Culver City, and Jesse Arciniega fouls that one back. Only 1 hit, and that's a bunt single by Eric Martin back in the last half inning, back in the 3rd inning. And that's been it.
They've only been through the lineup 1 time, that's Hawthorne. And for a team that came in and beat Culver City at Culver City on Wednesday 8-6, it's got to be a little bit deflating.
Played him pitch for pitch. There were 3 errors scored by, or committed by each team, and 11 hits by each team. So it was a playoff type game.
And that's been Hawthorne's problem this season, where they win the first game of a series and then they don't shut them out the second game. Earlier this week against Culver City, they win 8-6. They split with Morningside. They split with Beverly Hills, and they split with Santa Monica. If they win any of the second games in their series, they're close for first place.
Well, the heck, they would be in first place. It wouldn't be close. So Jesse Arciniega just trying to make something out of this, break the goose egg at any rate. This Culver City team wanting to stick with Santa Monica, not let the taillights get too dark. Another strike to Arciniega. As Santa Monica is hosting Inglewood today.
Yeah. Hawthorne teams, and for some reason the Thursday games have really gotten to them where they get blown out. It hasn't even been close, where they battle so hard the Tuesday game. There seems to be a letdown every Thursday game. Against Santa Monica, they beat them 6-4 the first game, come back and lose 11-2 on Thursday. Against Beverly Hills, they beat them here 6-0, go and get shut out and mercied 11-0. And then against Morningside, they beat them 5-3. They get shut out 5-0.
Wow.
So they're yin and yang.
This one's off the fists and trying to get it over and into left field, over J.B. Mashiro's glove and into left field for a base hit. So Jesse Arciniega gets the first hit out of the infield, and we're going to get a pinch runner. Looks like Sepulveda coming in. John Sepulveda coming in to pinch run. But I'm sure that Jesse will be back behind the plate.
Yeah,
well, actually,
Jesse's catching, so he might go behind the plate. Just give him a chance
just to
to
get
have
him
the
in.
catcher rest the legs a bit. He's been out there a while. And in high school, they do have the re-entry rule where somebody can come in for you, and as a starter, can re-enter without any damage to the lineup.
So bottom of the 4th inning, the leadoff hitter is on, and good fastball. That's Sergio Garcia taking over for Dago Perez.
Looked like Burrell trying to bring a little extra cheese on that one.
No kidding, that one
Rearing
really
back and just flying it.
Smacked the glove of Andrew Connolly. As that one's called strike again. 1-1 to Sergio Garcia, batting .200 coming in. Has 3 RBI on the year. Sepulveda being watched very closely. Sepulveda with that long body, 6'2", 190, just kind of falls back on the bag underneath the tag of Jose Tostado.
Yeah, I don't think Burrell needs to worry about Sepulveda going anywhere. They're down 11.
So maybe he's just getting some work in. Pitch out, so they are worried about him. As nice throw down by Connolly and a tag by Tostado, but Sepulveda uses that height again to get in there.
The coaching staff is looking at Colin like, what are you doing? Why are you calling a pitch out? We're up 11.
Got to try it out. Swing and a miss as Sergio Garcia wanted to get a 9-run home run in that one swing.
They took those out a couple years ago, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Now it's only an 8-run home run, right?
There you go. So Sepulveda still taking that lead. Now they got him thinking as it's fouled back. Just barely got a piece of it. As Sepulveda had the nice lead, but then took a couple steps back and was going the other way by the time Garcia swung. So whatever cat and mouse game they're doing is working. Up 11-0. Ground ball to third base. Cohen has it on to second for 1 over to first. They're not going to get him. So nice job by Sepulveda to upset Kevin Ozaki at second base.
Sepulveda came in with a good hard slide, allowed Garcia to reach on the fielder's choice, but Garcia was flying down the base path. He was going to get there no matter what.
He had a beat very handily. And here comes Artis Perry, the youngster, 6'1", 225.
That's the youngster?
The youngster, yeah.
Still trying to get there.
It's well, his dad is a very tall guy too. Perry looks at a ball.
Yeah, interesting. Burrell has done a good job against all the hitters, but against Perry each time, it's only the second time, he starts him off with an off-speed pitch here. Kind of be real careful with him.
Now here comes the cheese, I'll bet you. No, actually took something off of that one.
A little bit of a change there.
Yeah, it came over the top, but that wasn't his A stuff, that's for sure. And Perry fouled it off. Perry coming into the game batting .327, has 12 RBI and 18 hits, is the third leading run producer on this Hawthorne team. So just a sophomore. There goes Sepulveda, and that pitch was way outside. So a stolen base for, actually, that is Garcia out there.
Artis Perry looks like he's liking this at-bat against Burrell. He's digging in deep, and he's kind of nodding his head a little bit at Burrell, like, come on, meat, bring it. This is a good little battle here.
Sophomore against a senior.
And Burrell wearing those shades, you can't see what his reaction is, and he's real composed, but if you're a pitcher and you see a batter up there smiling and nodding your head at you like, what, are you serious?
Well, that's Artis. He
want
loves to
this?
smile. He's got that Cheshire Cat grin going. Fastball inside, and got a piece of it.
That gave it to him. Perry was around on it, just missed it.
So Artis Perry, a bright future on this Cougar team. So next up for the Cougars is Inglewood. Big swing and a miss on a nasty breaking ball, and Perry looks out at Burrell.
Like, come on.
Like, what the heck is that? He says, well, sit down, son. I'll
He
give
threw
you
him.
something to talk about.
Burrell just set up Perry there, and it's probably one of the better pitches that Perry has seen this year. And Burrell started him off with an ugly off-speed pitch in the dirt, threw another one in the dirt, gave him 2 fastballs that Perry fouled off. They're looking for something that he could possibly drive. Just a nasty bender that Perry had no chance at.
That brings up Juan Chaidez. That's only 3 strikeouts for Burrell. He hasn't really needed it, that big strikeout pitch.
An at-bat like that for Artis Perry is going to teach him something. Not you want to learn anything from striking out, but facing a pitcher like Burrell, who mixes up his pitches well, who sets you up, is only going to help out Perry for next year and later on the season, where he's going to know that, hey, I'm a power hitter. He's not going to see many fastballs.
No.
People know who Artis Perry is now, and he can drive, and he's made a name for himself in the Ocean League as a senior, somebody who can just flat out hit like he can. He needs to recognize now that he's going to see a lot of changeups, a lot of slop being thrown at him. He's not going to see too many fastballs that he can feast on like he has this year. And Artis Perry, smart kid that he is, good baseball player that he is, he's going to make a huge adjustment to that.
That's right. So you can learn something. As the runner goes, Garcia has third base stolen. So down to third base on 2 stolen bases and a fielder's choice is Sergio Garcia, trying to crack the goose egg with 2 down in the bottom of the 4th inning. Cougars trailing 11-0. So you can learn a lot by striking out, Beto, by just doing that, remembering the pitches. As this one's a high chopper, Cohen gets it and fires across. Tostado makes the putout. And the shutout is still in order for Jeremy Burrell as he walks off in a high five from his catcher, Andrew Connolly. So that'll do it for the 4th inning of play here at Hawthorne High School. No runs on a hit and a man left for the Cougars. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Culver City 11, Hawthorne nothing on Channel 22 Sports. Top of the 5th inning we go. Culver City dressed in their Dodger blue and gray uniforms, leading 11-0 over the red and gold clad Hawthorne Cougars in their white uniforms. 11 runs on 13 hits for the Cougars, no runs on just 2 hits. I should say the Centaurs, and no runs on 2 hits for the Cougars.
Cougars will take it, though.
That's right. That's a ball inside. As I do believe we got a pinch hitter in there now, because it should be the top of the order, right? It's number 18, Adrian Campos. And it's
foul ball.
Should be a foul ball because he was on the inside part of the line, not the in play, and now he's called out.
Campos bumped into Sergio Garcia as he was trying to make a play. Even though it was in the runner's lane, you have to avoid the contact, let the defender make the play. He didn't, bumped into Garcia. Home plate umpire calls him out.
So now Rick Prieto says he was on the foul side of the baseline. Just wanted to get a ruling on that.
And another pinch hitter, David Smith, number 28, is going to come up and hit for Tostado here in the 5th inning.
So Smith, wearing number 28 on his back, batting just 172. And that ball sails outside. Smith, 6 foot, 205 pounds, a junior, so probably one of these kids that has on the varsity squad for the first time. Foul tip stat into the glove of J.C. Sepulveda.
Yeah, but he's up there hacking, isn't he?
Has a nice swing. hasn't had a whole lot of action. Just 18 games played and only 29 at-bats. Swings and misses at that one.
What you want to do, though, when you're coming off the bench, as Smith is doing right now, you've been watching the whole game. You know what the pitchers are throwing. Come up there, rear back, and just swing it.
And that's what he did, but a nice pitch by Garcia to make him wave and miss. That's the first strikeout for Sergio. And the fourth for Cougar pitching, and that'll bring up Mccarran Tucker. Big Mac on an error and scored in the first, had a sacrifice fly and an RBI in the second, and a base hit and scored in the fourth inning in front of Jeremy Burrell's big 3-run bomb.
Mccarran Tucker's having a great season, easily going to be an Ocean League player. First team, second team. Looks like he's a first teamer, batting .423, leading the Centaurs in hitting, and he's out there controlling the outfield.
Bends out of the way of that Garcia fastball. It's 1-1. Mccarran Tucker is second in the league in batting average, Beto, at .423. He's coming into today's action. That one's in the dirt. It's now 2-1. So Hawthorne trying to figure it out, as they're going to have to hurry, as they don't want Culver City's taillights to get too far out of the way. Should this game stand and Century City goes on to win, Culver City would be 6-2, and Hawthorne would drop to 4-4.
And that would just leave Santa Monica and Culver City at the top for a logjam. And Culver City has no easy game next week, though. They play Morningside, who is battling it. They're 3-4 coming into today's game.
A walk, and that'll bring up Jeremy Burrell. They're not going to pinch hit for him, but pinch runner going out there, Beto.
Jesse Moore, a junior, just called up from the junior varsity team, number 46. He's going to pinch run for Mccarran Tucker. So Moore gets a chance to make his varsity debut in a pinch running role. And he might be running it the way Burrell's been swinging it.
Whether he likes it or not, right? So Garcia, his fastball sails outside. Burrell hit a 3-run shot back in the fourth inning, also had a base hit, and then popped out to the third baseman. Snap throw down and got him. Nice play by J.C. Sepulveda, and oops, the debut of Jesse Smith. Check that Jesse Moore is not that successful, but the Cougars will take that one, as getting picked off 2-3 is Jesse Moore, the pinch runner. So 1-2-3, actually, the hard way goes the Centaurs. That's the first time we've seen that today. And the shortest inning, 4 batters also came to bat in the third inning. But we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. It hopefully isn't last call for the Cougars, as we'll go into the bottom of the fourth inning. Cougars trailing Culver City 11-0 on Channel 22 Sports. Back here at Hawthorne High School, the Cougars trailing the Centaurs 11-0. It'll be Steve Hernandez, Irving Franco, and Eric Martin to face Jeremy Burrell in his fifth inning of work. Being the workhorse, doing it on both sides of the ball. Has only given up 2 hits today. No runs on 2 hits for the Cougars. 11 runs on 13 hits for Culver City. And Steve Hernandez bounced back to the pitcher. Actually, that was a shot back to the pitcher in his only time up.
Culver City setting themselves up very nicely for a chance at a CIF run with Burrell on the mound. And they also have Jacob Blodgett, who's 2-2 on the season, and he faced his Hawthorne team on Tuesday, got the loss, but he was a bit erratic, a little bit wild. And Rick Prieto said if he wasn't that way, they probably could have came out with a victory.
That's right. An unusually erratic Blodgett, who's, boy, what a story that young man is, was the subject of Eric Sonheimer's column in the LA Times. So the young man who's vision impaired, but can really throw the baseball.
He can only see, I believe, out of one eye healthy. One healthy eye, and the other one is impaired, I believe. But he comes out here and throws, and he's improved from his sophomore year to his senior year, and he's having a great senior season for the Centaurs.
And so is Jeremy Burrell as he rings up Steve Hernandez. That is his 4th strikeout of the day. And that'll bring up Irving Franco. Franco bounced out to second in his only at bat in the 3rd inning. Swings and misses at the high hard one. And I think Jeremy Burrell smells a win.
Yeah, Burrell knows that the 405 around 5 o'clock, there's traffic. Let me just throw the fastball, the heater, their lineup, and let's get out of here.
Especially going up the 405 to the west side there. That sidearm thing went whizzing by Andrew Connolly.
You got Tito's Tacos calling you. Johnny's Pastrami calling you. Culver City's a good place to eat.
Now you're talking my language there.
Some good eats in Culver City, so he knows. Probably some good water the way this guy throws the ball hard.
He softens up the water. Swing and the miss on the inside fastball, and that's 1 and 2. Now, there used to be a terrific sports bar over there. I know that they have some new owners there, but boy, they sure miss Bob and Dottie over at Stat Sports Grill over there in Culver City. Not too far away from you and I work our day jobs. Another strikeout looking by Burrell. That's number 5.
5 strikeouts for Burrell. Even though he's a power pitcher, really hasn't overpowered this Culver City team. I mean, this Hawthorne team. They've been able to put the ball in play. Unfortunately for the Cougars, at people. A lot of 4-3s, 6-3s, a couple 5-3s to go with the 5 strikeouts.
So Jonathan Vieda now batting. He's the last hope for the Cougars, standing in there against Jeremy Burrell, and swings and misses at that inside heater.
Jonathan Vieda, he's a 5'5", 125-pound senior. He's only had 4 at-bats this season. His 5th one's going to be the toughest one of his career.
That's quite a spot you put the young man in. He's a senior. But all you got to do is keep things going against Jeremy Burrell so he can go another inning.
Vieda's up there taking his hacks, though.
0-2 to Johnny Vieda. Hitting for Eric Martin, as Eric had a bunt single in his only at bat in the 3rd inning. And that should be the ball game, as 3 strikeouts looking by Jeremy Burrell. Ends up with 6 strikeouts through 5 innings, but now here comes the Cougars out. They want to play some more. Rick Prieto now talking to home plate umpire Jerry Flory. And giving him the ball. Sergio Garcia gets the ball with an 11-0 lead for the Centaurs. And so we're going to take a timeout, as no runs on no hits, no errors, 3 strikeouts looking for Jeremy Burrell in the bottom of the 5th inning. We're going to go to the 6th with Culver City leading 11-0 over Hawthorne on Channel 22 Sports. Top of the 6th inning, we're continuing as Jeff Hines did not concede to Culver City. So it is 11-0 Culver City. And for more play-by-play, here is on the double, almost a double play by the Cougars, but a nice catch by Irving Franco to catch the line drive by Percy Perez, who finally gets put down. Here's Beto Duran.
Yeah, Percy Perez lines out to the second baseman, Franco. Jeremy Burrell led off the inning, hit by pitch by Sergio Garcia in the first one. That'll bring up JB Mashiro. Mashiro, 2 walks on the day, and he flied out to right field.
JB also scoring, Beto, in the 4th inning as he was the first batter to face Sergio Garcia. Also flied out to Gary Vaughn in right field.
So Garcia sets the pitch. That's in the dirt. Sepulveda lets the ball get by him. Burrell's going to take second standing up. A wild pitch there for Sergio Garcia.
Sepulveda just couldn't get that one, looking like a hockey goalie.
JB Mashiro, the senior, 6 foot, 190 pound, playing shortstop today, looking to bring in Jeremy Burrell from second. The pitch, that's a called strike 1. 1-1 the count to JB Mashiro.
So Coach Jeff Hines not conceding to Culver City as it could have been a mercy rule, but he's showing his toughness as a coach, saying, you know, we're just going to keep playing. We're here to learn.
Yeah, another chance for Garcia to get some innings, and the 1-1 pitch, that's a ball outside. 2-1 the count. And Culver City now looks like they're going to be bringing in a new pitcher. They've got somebody warming up in the bullpen. Looks like Mccarran Tucker. Big day for them. He's in the pen.
I'll bet you he can bring it too.
Yeah. The 2-1 pitch by Garcia is fouled back by Mashiro. 2-2 the count. 11-0 here in the 6th inning on Channel 22. Culver City beating Hawthorne.
And it is a good old-fashioned beating too, as Dago Perez going the first 3 1/3, and now Sergio Garcia into the second or into the 6th inning, I should say.
Line drive up the middle. That's going to be a base hit from Mashiro. Burrell's held at third by Coach Rick Prieto. You're going to have runners at first and third, and that's going to bring up Andrew Connolly, the catcher.
And just looking at some of Tucker's numbers, Beto, he's 4-1 on the year, and has 6 starts with a 3.37 ERA. So he's no stranger to the pitcher's rubber.
This Culver City team is deep in pitching. You have Blodgett, who pitched earlier in the week. You have Burrell, of course, who's a stud. And you have Tucker, who's, you just read off his stat. He's a good one coming out of the pen. First pitch to Connolly, that's a called strike 1. 11-0 Culver City over Hawthorne here in the 6th inning. Connolly at the plate, Sergio Garcia on the mound. You have JB Mashiro at first and Jeremy Burrell at third. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and fouled back directly in our direction. Get your glove, Lou.
Yeah, geez, that good thing the fence worked.
Yeah, it's quickly 0-2 to Connolly. You see our cameraman Alonzo move?
No.
Exactly.
No, he's a stud too. He's our stud cameraman today. We also have Ryan down the left field line and Tall Paul down the right field line.
Garcia sets the 0-2 pitch. Curveball in the dirt. Connolly able to hold up his swing. It's 1-2 now. Good pitch by Garcia. Pitch in the dirt. Had Connolly thinking about chasing, but he was able to hold up the bat.
Well, Conley hasn't been on base at all today, but he has an RBI with a sacrifice fly back in the 1st inning.
Connolly's the only hitter in the Centaur lineup who has not reached base. So he's looking to get on here. 1-2 pitch. It's a ball outside. Fastball by Garcia that Sepulveda had to go out and get. And Coach Jeff Hines is going to call time and talk to his pitcher here.
I think Sergio might be a little distracted by the situation. The runners at the corners with only 1 out. And so now he's just trying to get him to calm down and say, you know, just play catch with your catcher.
They're down 11 runs, and not to say what's another run going to matter, but I think Hines made the decision not to concede the mercy, to allow Garcia, who he's going to need next week against Inglewood, and he hasn't really had many innings to pitch, only thrown 11 innings on the season. This is just a chance to get him the work.
And now the bullpen's going to get busy for Hawthorne. And we'll check out who that is down there.
2-2 the count to Connolly. Sergio Garcia's pitch that swung on and grounded to short. out of second, and he's going to be safe at first. So Chris Bonilla fields it, throws it over to the second baseman, Franco, for the out, and Connolly reaches first on the fielder's choice, but in to score is Jeremy Burrell, and that makes it 12-0. It's Culver City.
So nice play by Bonilla to get the lead runner, if you will, over at second base, but it was just too late for Irving Franco to turn it for the double play.
Yeah, Kevin Ozaki's at the plate now for Culver City, and he sees the first pitch, lets it go by for a ball. Ozaki's quickly becoming a Hawthorne Cable favorite. Is 3 for 3 on the game with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. The second baseman having a good ball game.
Just looking down in the bullpen, playing catch, one Cougar has his jacket on. Matt Sierra is down there, also with Gary Vaughn down in the bullpen.
Ozaki takes a called strike. 1-1 the count. Garcia sets, and that's a high. Ball 2.
Sergio Garcia is laboring out there now, Beto, just overthrowing things as he's into his third inning of work. Just 2-1 now to Ozaki.
Garcia has a good setup, though. He's facing the 8 and 9 batters. And Ozaki drills one down the left field line. He's looking for a double, and Connolly's going to be waved home. Ozaki's going to third, and he's going to hold up. Connolly scores all the way from first. Kevin Ozaki with a double down the left field line scores Andrew Connolly 13-0 Culver City.
And that is the third double of the day for Kevin Ozaki. And he's hit a double into left field, into center field, and into right field, also with 3 RBIs on the day.
Well, Ozaki's an equal opportunity doubles hitter, Lou.
He just is a flat-out player.
Anthony Rincon, the number 9 batter, looking for his first hit of the game. He swings, he grounds it to third. Weishauer fields it, throws it in the dirt. Good dig by Artis Perry. That's going to retire the side for Culver City. But Culver City, the Centaurs scored 2 runs on 2 hits, makes it 13-0 here in the bottom of the 5th on Hawthorne Community Cable, Channel 22. Bottom of the 5th, Culver City leads Hawthorne 13-0. Welcome back, everybody. New pitcher on the mound for Culver City. It will be Mccarran Tucker, number 21, 6'3", 195-pound junior. He was in the outfield, Lou. Tell us about Tucker.
Mccarran Tucker has an ERA of 3.37 and a record of 4-3. No, check that. That's Jeremy Burrell. We'll show his numbers a little later. He has a record of 4-1 in 27 innings pitched. Has given up 13 earned runs and has given up 16 hits and 3 home runs, a double, and has 36 strikeouts versus 17 walks and has hit 3 batters. So Mccarran Tucker can really throw it, and you just saw it there.
Yeah, and he's facing Chris Bonilla, Gary Vaughn, and Jesse Arciniega here in the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch to Bonilla, a ball. Bonilla swings at the second pitch, fouls it into the fence. 1-1 the count. So Tucker just switches with Jeremy Burrell, who came out and dealed like he would for 5 strong innings. Burrell goes to right field. Tucker comes in to pitch.
And how about this, Beto, is
Bonilla chops it to the short and makes the throw. There's JP or JB Mashiro with the nice pickup. 6-3. Bonilla retired.
That's Jeremy Burrell in his final inning, the bottom of the 5th inning. Struck out all 3 batters he faced looking.
Finished stronger than he started.
Absolutely.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter here for Hawthorne. Tony Lee will come up to hit for Gary Vaughn. Vaughn went 0 for 2 on the day. Lee looks at the first pitch offered by Tucker. That's a ball in the dirt.
Lee, 6 foot, 200-pound junior, coming in batting .256 with 10 RBI. Also 2 doubles under his belt.
Lee looks at the second pitch, called ball. Been in the dirt, Mccarran Tucker, the junior, working against Tony Lee, another junior for Hawthorne, and J.P. Sepulveda on deck for the Cougars. The 2-0 pitch, the ball in the dirt, 3-0.
You know, it's so much fun, Beto, to see some kids not playing basketball, or maybe playing basketball, also being able or be allowed by their coaches, if Mccarran does play basketball, to come play baseball, because a lot of kids now are frowned upon if they try to do more than one sport.
Yeah, in the day of specialized coaching and kids focusing on one sport, being able to be a multi-sport athlete is a thing of the past, and Tucker obviously looks like he can play some other sports.
Oh yeah, he could probably do anything he wanted to.
Lee swings and misses and runs the count up to 3-2. He's facing Mccarran Tucker. So Lee wearing the count on his back. The full count pitch, that's a ball in the dirt. Lee draws a walk.
So we were talking about this off the air as a one-out walk, but Jeff Hines not conceding to Culver City could have invoked the mercy rule, but didn't, and that sends a message to his players that I don't care if we're getting our butts beat in today, we're not going to give up.
No, that's exactly right. In the CIF, there's a rule that the mercy rule is 10 runs at the end of 5 complete innings. If the losing team concedes, Jeff Hines decided not to. Has some kids that really haven't had a chance to play much. This is a game for them to get in. We've seen him go through a lot of his lineup. Yeah, Jonathan Villeda, who earned his 5th at-bat of the year against a tough Jeremy Burrell. But Sergio Garcia's worked a lot of innings, and we're going to see that from them. The first pitch to Sepulveda, he swings and he fouls it back. 0-1 the count to J.P. Sepulveda, who came on as a replacement for Jesse Arciniega in the first inning after Arciniega picked up the second hit of the game for the Cougars.
That's right, and as a pinch runner came in.
Tucker sets, checks his runner first, the 0-1 pitch. It's a foul back directly in our direction, right at the camera. Quickly 0-2 to J.P. Sepulveda.
Alonso just started chewing his gum a little faster that time.
That's the big league chew, Lou. You got the big league chew. Nothing can get in your way.
No worries. Jonathan Sepulveda batting .200 on the year. Has 4 hits and an RBI.
Primarily the catcher was on the bench today, and there he checks his swing, and it's a ball. Home plate umpire says he did not go around. 1-2 the count. So 13-0, Culver City pounding Hawthorne in an Ocean League battle.
Certainly been a show by Culver City, that's for sure.
The 1-2 pitch popped up in the air on the first base side, and that's going to fall. So Sepulveda stays alive against Mccarran Tucker. 1-2. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Culver City just showing the muscle that they have in this Ocean League.
Just trying to see who Mccarran Tucker reminds me of in the big leagues with his long arms and legs.
The 1-2 pitch, it's off speed, it's high. 2-2 the count to J.P. Sepulveda. He's up there, and
there was a guy from the Boston Red Sox, a lanky right-hander named Oil Can Boyd.
Oil Can, mid-80s, Lou.
My grandmother told me about it.
The 2-2 pitch to Sepulveda. It's a fastball on the outside. Sepulveda watches it go by for a ball, and for the second time, Mccarran Tucker has a full count on the batter. J.P. Sepulveda working Tucker here.
Well, got to make this guy work. He's been out there in right field taking it easy.
The full count, it's swung on and missed by Sepulveda for the second out of the inning.
I'll show you easy, Lou. That was some gas up and in.
I was just big man versus big man there. Mccarran Tucker coming in from right field. Sepulveda, his first at bat, and Had a bit of a battle going with the full count, but
that was a
McCarran
BB.
reared back.
That would have made it from the right field corner to third base on one hop.
And that'll bring up the pitcher, Sergio Garcia, not the golfer. He takes the first pitch for a ball. He came in relief for Dago Perez and has done a good job just holding the Centaurs in check.
It's gone 2 2/3.
And he fouls one back.
Well, we're seeing a lot of foul balls straight back today. I think today we've had more company here than ever in our Channel 22 Sports Game of the Week.
There you see Mccarran Tucker on the mound. You have 2 outs. He retired Bonilla on a grounder to short, and he struck out Sepulveda. And this time, Sergio Garcia fouls one back. So it's a 1-2 count on Sergio Garcia, the pitcher. 13-0. Culver City leading Hawthorne at Hawthorne in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Sergio, sorry, go ahead.
Saw an impressive performance by Jeremy Burrell, the stud pitcher for Culver City, as he went a strong 5.
Yeah, we'll be seeing him in the college ranks, and then within the next 5-6 years or so at a major league ballpark near you.
Yeah.
If things go right.
Mccarran Tucker might give him a run for his money. He's had a good season offensively. 423 coming into this game with the bat. The 2-2 pitch. That's ball outside. For the 3rd consecutive time, Mccarran Tucker goes to a full count with the Hawthorne Cougar. Against Tony Lee, he walked him and leaves at first. Against Sepulveda, he struck him out, and we'll see what happens here the 3rd time. The 3-2 pitch. High. Ball 4 to Sergio Garcia.
Well, they'll take their base runners any way they can get them now that Burrell's on the bench. 2 walks, and then here comes big Artist Perry, who can put a 3, ring up a 3 on you real quick. But Sergio Garcia has pitched 2 2/3 inning, Beto, and has only given up 2 runs on 3 hits. So he's done a really good job taking over for Dago Perez.
And now he's on base as we have runners at first and second. Sergio Garcia at first. He was walked, and as was Tony Lee, who was at second. Artist Perry, number 34, reached on an error in the second, and he struck out in the 4th, and there he swings through the first pitch offered by McCarran for strike 1.
It should be a good battle.
2 juniors that will definitely see a lot of each other next year.
That's right. Well,
Tucker sets the 0-1 pitch to Perry. That's in the dirt. Blocked by Connolly. 1-1 is the count.
I love Artis. He just goes out there and looks at the pitcher and says, come on.
Plus he comes over and says, hello, Mr. Stowers, before the game even starts.
Well, you know, he knows. He knows.
He knows. Yeah, he knows. The 1-1 pitch to Artis.
No!
That's fly deep, and that's going to go out of bounds.
Look out for that SUV coming down the road. Almost made it into a convertible.
Artist Perry jumped on the fastball offered by Tucker. He looked for that convertible, and he just a bit ahead, fouled it deep into left field and went into the streets. Convertibles, put your tops up if you're coming by Hawthorne and Artist Perry is hitting. Watch out. And if you got a couple of rust spots on the car, drive faster.
Like the Channel 22 van?
Oh, you said it. 1-2 pitch, and it's an off-speed pitch outside. 2-2 the count to Artist Perry.
Are you kidding me? Old Paint down there has been so good to us. We should bronze her when it comes time.
I thought that was the bronze color.
No, that's rust.
Oh. Karen sets. 2-2 pitch to Artist Perry. Swung on, chopper to the 3rd.
Ooh.
And it's going to bounce off the 3rd baseman. And Hines is going to hold the runner at 2nd. A lot of things going on there. That was a chopper by Artist Perry to the 3rd baseman Cohen. It bounced off of him. Jeff Hines held Tony Lee at 3rd. Sergio Garcia was rounding 2nd, and they had a chance at him there. Nothing happening. Jeff Hines holding all the runners, but we have some action for Hawthorne as the bases are loaded, and Juan Chaidez at the plate.
That's the 2nd time that Artist Perry has wreaked havoc on the shin bones of Kevin Cohen at third base.
Cohen's going to look and see a couple red stitches on his leg and think, Artis Perry.
That's right. He's going to go and get some hockey shinnies.
And that's flied into left field by Chaidez. Left field's make a dive. He's going to miss. That's going to score 1 run. Garcia's going to score. That's 2 runs. Perry's going to score. That's 3 runs. Chaidez is going for 3. The throw. He is safe at third. Juan Chaidez with a triple clearing the bases. Tony Lee, Sergio Garcia, and Artis Perry score 13-3. Culver City here in the bottom of the 6th, and it looks like Rincon dove for the ball in left field, and he might be hurt.
But how about Artis Perry scoring all the way from first base on that, showing some good speed for a big guy. And you would expect Tony Lee and Sergio Perez to come around and score. And let's hope that Anthony Rincon is okay out there at third base as they're checking him out right now. And there's the man who hit the triple. You just saw him, Juan Chaidez, who's always done well on Channel 22.
Juan
we saw him
Chaidez.
jack a home run, and now with a 3-run triple, or actually 2-run triple.
Chaidez picks up his 18th,
That was a
19th,
bases
and
loaded
20th RBIs of the season here. Rincon, the left fielder for Culver City, laid out for it, and he missed. Valiant effort, but that allowed Chaidez round to third.
Now Chaidez with a 20 RBI, like you said, Beto, is third place in that race in the Ocean League. Dago Perez with 28 RBI, and then Dylan Early from Samohi with 26. So they're still checking out Anthony Rincon. There you see Jeff Hines, the head coach, out there, and
looks like Rincon might have jammed his left shoulder. He laid out. He was flying, and he grabbing his left shoulder there.
there you see Culver City's trainer right now asking Rincon, can you move it? Well, that's good. That's a good sign if he can move everything. And hopefully it's just a strain or a sprain or something, and nothing came loose.
Danny Reyes is going to replace him in left field, the junior, number 15. But Rincon, a valiant effort. He comes up with that catch. He robs Chaidez and ends the inning there, but came up a bit short. And that allowed Hawthorne to score 3 runs. Artis Perry on his horse was motoring around from first. You know, that's an everyday thing, Artis Perry scoring from first.
No, that's he did a terrific job. Showed a lot of speed, and didn't look like he was leaking oil coming around third either. He had enough juice left in the tank to get home.
Mccarran Tucker on the mound, 13-3, Culver City leading Hawthorne.
That breaks the goose egg.
That breaks up the goose egg, and 3 runs scored for the Cougars in this inning. That'll bring up Steve Hernandez in the bottom of the 6th.
So what a turnaround. 3 strikeouts looking in the bottom of the 5th, and now we got 3 runs scored.
And Hernandez flies it into center field. The first pitch he sees, that's going to be an out on Hernandez. 3 runs scored for Hawthorne. We have a 13-3 ball game. Culver City 13, Hawthorne 3 on Hawthorne Community Cable Channel 22.
Matthew Mercier checks in for Culver City, and he grounds it sharply. Bonilla gets it, trying to get it over to Franco for a nice ESPN type play, but just can't get it done. But Bonilla, looking like a Jack Russell Terrier going after the tennis ball, really gobbled it up. But it's a base hit.
Knocked the ball down. Mercier, his third hit of the game, his second base hit. He also has a double, which you got in the second. And he's looking at like Bonilla, like, you really got to that? I hit it that hard and you got there?
That's right.
Come on.
He wanted to get a double out of that one, but Tucker, or it's actually that Mercier, hard to tell them apart, Tucker and Mercier. Built just alike, tall and lanky. That'll bring up Jose Tostado. ball game as David Smith came in. Sergio Garcia into his 4th inning of work, and now Perry was just not in position to take that pickoff throw by Sepulveda, but boy, that would have been some collision.
Perry
wouldn't have moved.
I don't think either of them would have moved. I think they both would have just stood there like, what?
Garcia brings it down about 3/4 and it's low. So Tostado has a base hit, 2 base hits, and a stolen base, 2 runs scored, also struck out twice. And now he has a walk. So that's not good news after the Cougars put up a 3 spot back in the top of the 6th inning. Check that, the bottom of the 6th inning. In the top of the 7th, the first 2 batters are on base. And now, here comes Tucker. Tucker bounces it over the mound, picked up by Bonilla. Nope, it's through into center field. Mercier comes around third. Here comes the throw. Arciniega can't make the tag in time. And it is now 14-3, Culver City.
Strong throw by Eric Martin. He hit J.P. Sepulveda in the glove. They would have had Mercier out at the plate, but a little too high. Sepulveda couldn't handle the throw, but Eric Martin coming out with a hose from deep center. That ball was thrown out of line.
That's right. That surprised me coming in here. Good arm. That brings up Jeremy Burrell, who keeps his spot in the lineup. You don't want to take that bat out of the lineup, as he hits it high into the air into center field. Eric Martin says he has it all the way and puts it away. So Burrell going home run hunting again, tried to get it up in the air, but got it just a bit under it.
Just missed it for Jeremy Burrell.
That'll bring up Percy Perez, the designated hitter. Well, Jeremy Burrell, by the way, did a terrific job on the mound, going 5 innings, giving up only 2 hits and struck out 6. And also had a 3-run home run to boot. Sergio Garcia might want to put that pitch in his back pocket and work on it for a later day. Percy Perez has had himself an impressive day, Beto. Is 3 for 4. Had a base hit to right, stolen base and scored in the 1st inning. Had a base hit and an RBI in the 2nd. Had a double and scored right after the 3-run home run by Burrell in the 4th inning. Then hit a line shot to Irving Franco back in the 6th inning. So this is his 5th time at bat.
5 at bats in 7 innings. It's a good average you're going to want as a head coach.
Or as a player.
Coaches are always happy when there's more hitting going on than defense.
That's true.
Yeah, but Perez doing a good job. And like we said earlier, he's the DH because he's normally the starting shortstop, but he has a bum shoulder that he injured early in the season. He can't really throw. And he's up there swinging with pain.
But he can sure hit.
Well, if this guy was healthy, how much better could he hit?
Geez, I don't know. I have no idea. This
I
kid
don't know.
has
The Ocean League doesn't want to find out either.
He has not gotten any cheap hits today. That's for sure.
Yeah,
and even his out wasn't cheap. Here comes Garcia's pitch on the inside corner, and Perez is on again. So that loads him up. Down to 3rd is Tostado. At 2nd is Tucker. And now at 1st is Perez for a dangerous hitter in J.B. Machiro, who is 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Machiro lines it down the 3rd baseline. Here comes 1 run. Tucker comes around 3rd. And is it foul? Is it called foul by Jerry Flory? Well, we'll do it again. That one just missed.
Couldn't get any closer than that. J.B. Machiro jumps all over a fastball that Coach Rick Prieto, who was standing at 3rd base, thinks was fair. The only opinion that matters is home plate umpire, and he called it foul.
Yeah, that's what I get for following the guy in the wrong color blue. El Machero will try it again, and Garcia keeps it away from him this time. And it's 1-1. So Machero is a dangerous hitter. Leads this team with 3 home runs. And the bases are packed with Centaurs, and this one is set high into the air in left field. Coming forward is Hernandez in foul territory, catches it, and tagging and coming in to score is the runner at third, Jose Tostado, and that makes it 14-3. Check that, 15-3. So an RBI for Machero.
Machero gets the job done. He thought he had a double down the line. Not quite. Called foul. Then this time he just turns on a pitch by Garcia. And he skies it to left field. Hernandez there. The sacrifice fly. Another RBI for J.B. Machero.
That's number 13 for JB, and now it's 2 down. And that'll bring up Andrew Connolly, the catcher, who's been on once on a fielder's choice, had a sacrifice fly and an RBI in the first inning, and bounced to the shortstop twice. So still 2 runners on for Culver City, and this one bounces away from Sepulveda, and everybody's going to move up 90 feet.
It's a hard curveball that Garcia been trying to work on there. Hasn't really thrown it to batters that often, but there he did, and it just had a hard bite. Sepulveda had no chance of blocking it.
So wild pitch by Garcia, and now both runners are in scoring position. So Andrew Connolly digging in, trying to do some more damage here against Culver City, or for Culver City against Hawthorne in this Ocean League game. Culver City trying to keep pace with Santa Monica, who's playing Inglewood today at Santa Monica. Just trying to take care of their own destiny. This one bites the outside corner. Connolly has 6 RBI on the year.
Garcia might want to get Connolly out right here because on deck is the ever-dangerous Kevin Ozaki, who's 4 for 4 on the game.
Is that Matsui or Ozaki? Curveball in the dirt. Nice stop by Sepulveda.
Well, Ozaki's hitting like Ichiro, hitting like Derek Jeter. He's hitting like every major league player right now. It don't matter what name he is.
That's right.
He's making a name for himself today. And played a good second base.
He's done it all. He and Jeremy Burrell been doing it on both sides. So Connolly just waiting his turn to get on base or do some damage to drive in one or both of the Centaurs that are out there. Here comes Garcia's pitch, and that is right down the middle. Strike 3 called, and a good pitch by Garcia to fool Andrew Connolly. And for Garcia, that is strikeout number 3. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th. It's last call for the Cougars, as there were 2 runs scored by the Centaurs on 2 hits, and there were 2 men left. Going into the bottom of the 7th inning, it is now 15-3 in favor of Culver City on Channel 22 Sports. Seventh inning for the Hawthorne Cougars, who trail it 15-3. 15 runs on 17 hits for the Centaurs, and 3 runs on 3 hits for the Cougars, as they'll be sending up Irving Franco, Eric Martin, and then the top of the order, Chris Bonilla, as another foul back to the screen, and Beto.
I flinched.
You did.
Alonso didn't.
No, he won't.
As you see that great camera shot we had there.
He is almost as cool as Eric Chavez. Almost. You have to wear those big ugly shorts to be totally cool.
And lose a couple pounds.
Yeah. And that wonderful hairdo he's got, too. That just missed. It's 1-2. Irving Franco is 0 for 2. Bounced out to second base in the third inning and struck out. So the 3 runs were all scored back in the 6th inning, as this one goes all the way to the backstop, 2-2. As the bases were loaded, Sergio Perez, Artis Perry, and Gary Vaughn were all on base when Juan Chaidez hit a triple down the left field line that just eluded Anthony Rincon's glove, and Rincon landed on one of his hands there and injured it and had to come out of the ball game. But other than that, it's been smooth sailing, especially with Jeremy Burrell in pitching, one of the best games of the season probably. He pretty much did that same thing when we saw him last year as a junior against Lusinger.
Burrell just came out and dominated through 5 innings.
Swing and a miss at the high, hard one.
The only hits that Hawthorne was able to get off of Burrell was a bunt by Eric Martin and a jam blooper by Arciniega. The only real hits for Hawthorne.
Yep, and for Mccarran Tucker, as this one's popped up, that's John Viedra. And that's popped up right to Tucker. 4-2 down in the bottom of the 7th inning, and now it'll be all up to Chris Bonilla, who has a ground out to shortstop. But Mccarran Tucker's only mistake was that triple, as he was victimized by his 2 walks and an error at third base, as this one's hacked foul. That should go out of play and just barely does, as Jose Tostado wanted to end the game. But Chris Bonilla taking over at shortstop. It just wasn't Ricardo Velasquez's day today.
Velasquez had 2 quick errors to start off the game, and errors that led to runs, and Bonilla came in. He's played pretty good defensively.
Very good. Couple of plays that come to mind. The first one that he came out and then made a terrific play, tried to flip it to Franco, but just didn't get that one down in time. So it's 15-3 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning, and strike 2 now to Bonilla. So Hawthorne in danger of evening their standings out at 4-4 as Tucker gets the high hopper, throws a hard strike, and that's the ball game. 1-3 on the putout, and the game goes to Culver City 15-3. 15 runs on 17 hits, 3 runs on 3 hits for the Hawthorne Cougars. The Cougars fall to 4-3. Check that, 4-4 on the in Ocean League, and 13-9 overall. For Culver City, they improved to 6-2 and 18-10 overall. You want to take a break and come back?
Let's do that.
Let's take a break, and we'll come back with the final numbers, as this is my favorite play of the game. Everybody has been fighting and clawing, and they all shake hands at the end. We'll be back on Channel 22 Sports. It was all Culver City today as they're giving themselves a hand down the third base line. It was 15-3, and Culver City improves to 6-2 in Ocean League and 18-10 overall. The Cougars fall to 4-4 in league and 13-9 overall. And it was 15 runs on 17 hits and 2 errors for the Centaurs, and 3 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors for Culver City. The winning pitcher was Jeremy Burrell, who was just unbelievable today, Beto, going 5 innings and only giving up 2 hits and striking out 6.
Well, Burrell was better than advertised. We thought he was a horse that Culver City had, and he came out and just shut down the Cougars today.
Sure did, and Dago Perez was the tough luck loser. Just it wasn't the Cougars' day today from right off the bat, actually, as they scored 4 runs in that top of the first inning to get things going and batted around all 9 of them. And Jeremy Burrell was just too tough, just tougher than a $2 steak today.
Real tough, and it doesn't help that Perez had to go through the lineup twice, where Culver City sent up to the plate 9 batters twice, and he really just shut them down. And Dago Perez, to his credit, came out and battled, but Culver City was just too tough today.
So Burrell improves his record to 5-3, and Dago Perez suffers his first loss of the season. Is now 4-1, but we do have to stress that Sergio Garcia came in and did a whale of a job, except for the only blemish on that was the 3-run home run was off of Dago Perez. So coming into the ball game, Sergio Garcia really did a good job, giving up 3 runs, actually 4 runs, in his 3 2/3 innings of work.
Garcia really hadn't pitched much this season, only had 11 innings coming into this game, but he came into a tough situation against a hot-hitting Culver City team and did a good job picking up for Perez, really shutting him down through those couple innings that he did throw.
And it's time for our Holiday Inn Express and Suites Player of the Game. And really with a game like this, you got to pick 2, one for each side as our hearts go out to some of the guys that don't have all the physical tools, but really come out and really bring it and do a good job. So for the Culver City Centaurs, who would you say would be our player of the game, even though Jeremy Burrell came out here and just kicked tail?
Burrell put on a show pitching, and he had that 3-run homer, but the player that really stood out to me for Culver City was Kevin Ozaki, the sophomore second baseman. Went 4 for 4, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs. Coming in the game, he had only 2 hits total.
He wasn't even hitting 100, was he?
He's batting big, and Kevin Ozaki,
sure
the
is.
sophomore, #1, really did stand out for Culver City, the Centaurs. 4 for 4 today with 3 doubles and 3 RBIs.
So congratulations to KO, who really KO'd the Cougars. And on the other side of the ball for the Hawthorne Cougars, our player of the ball game really goes between Sergio Garcia and then Juan Chaidez, who had the 3-run triple.
Well, Chaidez, like you said, had the 3-run triple on a tough at-bat against Mccarran Tucker. Chaidez really laid into one, drove it down the left field line for the triple, scoring Tony Lee, Sergio Garcia, and Artis Perry. That's my player of the game for Hawthorne, Juan Chaidez, who somehow, some way, anytime there's a Channel 22 game, steps up big.
Sure does. So, well, maybe we got to come back here one more time. We'll see what's on the schedule for us here at Channel 22. But up for Hawthorne to end up the season, they will host Inglewood, and then on the 11th of May, be at Inglewood. So with Inglewood at the bottom of the pile in the Ocean League, with an 0-7 record as of today, it could go into Hawthorne's favor, and maybe they won't split. They're going to have to win out if they want any chance at all to get into the playoffs.
That's exactly what Hawthorne has to do. They really hurt their chances of making the CIF today by losing to Culver City, but 2 games against a defeated Inglewood team next week really going to put them in a better position.
All right, Beto. Well, it was good to have you back here again
Good to
at
be
the old
back.
ball yard. And, yeah, we missed you all, so it's been a while. So we'll be back on Channel 22 very soon. So for Tom Strickfadden and the crew, and for Beto Duran, this is Lou Stowers telling you once again the final score from Hawthorne High School. The Cougars go down to defeat to Culver City 15-3. Until next time, so long. The preceding presentation of this Channel 22 Sports Game of the Week was brought to you in part by a generous donation from the Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites, South Bay. The Holiday Inn Express is partnering with Channel 22 Sports to help promote our young people in sports competition and academics so that everyone in our community wins. The Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites. Stay smart. The preceding presentation of this Channel 22 Sports Game of the Week was brought to you in part by a generous donation from the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board is working together with Channel 22 Sports to promote an environment where everyone can maximize their career potential and so that all employers have the human resources they need to grow and prosper. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board. When you need us, we are there for you.